Hey guys, what's going on, everybody? All right, so let's talk about ProQuest real quick before we go back. Before I start jumping into the games here, played 2 ProQuests. We drove about 3 hours to Charlotte, North Carolina, to play this weekend, and I had a great time. It was the first big event that we went to as a team. Oh, excuse me. Just had dinner a few minutes ago, so it's all coming back. But had a great time. Had a lot of fun playing at ProQuest. It was our first real big events as a team that we went to. Had Hey, what's going on, Ian? How are you, brother? I haven't talked to you in a while, man. What have you been into? So we had somebody top 8 each day. The first day, Silas top 8'd with Phi, lost in the first round of top 8. And then on the second day, Blake top 8'd playing Dorinthia, and he lost in the first round of top 8. So, not a bad showing from the team. Glad that we put people in the top 8. We had multiple people, one win away from top 8ing. Both days. So 2 or 3 people were one win away from top 8 both days. So it was a pretty good run from all of us. I was one win away from top 8 on both days. So it was a little disappointing, but it happens sometimes. So doing good, man. Hope you've been doing well. Got to get the squad back together for some Fortnite. Dude, absolutely. Let's play Fortnite sometime soon. I haven't played since the new update, so we definitely need to do that. That sounds like a blast. So anyway, Icelander was fun. I had a pretty good run with it. I'm hoping I'm going to turn around and play 5 this week. Did some assessing of how my weekend would have went had I played Phi. Turned out that it would have been exactly the same or better had I been on Phi instead of Icelander. So I'm going to be testing Phi this week. I'll be streaming today and Thursday, barring that nothing comes up. And there's a couple more ProQuests this weekend. So I'm pretty excited about it. I put a list together, and I've been messing with it a little bit, tested it last night. So hopefully we can keep it running and have some good games tonight. We bopping tonight? Oh, you know it, brother. We're always bopping. All right, let's see if we can find somebody to play against. Nobody in the comp. Nobody in the comp lobby. So we'll see what happens. So as far as my list is concerned, this is the equipment suite here. This is kind of what I decided on. The Blazing Yori is for the mirror. I'm not really sure how I feel about that one. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Bravo, Briar, Dash. And then here's how I board for the matchup. I'm not sure if I'd rather have Ancestral Empowerments or if I'd rather have Sink Belows in this matchup. I wasn't really sure how I felt about that coming into this matchup, so that's something I'll be testing this week to see what feels good. I also like Command and Conquer in this matchup. Command and Conquer is just a good card, and it's a very good chain ender to throw at them after they blocked once or twice. How was the tournament, or is that this weekend? So there was tournaments last weekend, and there's some tournaments coming this weekend. I missed top 8 at both the tournaments by one win both days. So I had a pretty good showing. Won more games than I lost both days, but at the same time, also a little disappointing. I hate to just miss top 8 by that being that close. All right, so let's see. We're playing on Talishar. We're playing against Dash. And we're going second. So I recently bought the Excel suite. And so in the that's very scary for us. That means we're probably going to lose this game. Hey, just missing out on top 8 is pretty good. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Obviously I wish I would have made top 8, but it is what it is. So, I mean, I recently purchased the Excel suite. So instead of using instead of writing everything down in my notebook, I'm going to be putting everything in Excel now, which I think will be a lot cleaner for me personally. So I mean, I was like, if this hits for 2, they go to 30, and then I could use Snaps and Mask of the Pouncing Lynx to come in with Salt the Wound for 6 more. But I think I'd rather use it on the Art of War turn. I think that's the most efficient use of Art of War and my equipment. So pitch Brand with Cinderclaw, pitch Snatch, banish Brand with Cinderclaw, I think. No, I'm going to pitch Brand here and keep it in the deck, so. Did you Hawaiian shirt? If not, do it next time. Assert dominance. I did not wear a Hawaiian shirt. We got team jerseys that I was wearing. Just when I think you can't get any hotter, you start talking spreadsheets. Oh my god. Oh, I love you. You're hilarious. So if they start with T-Bone, it's going to be for 7. Now, the good news is that the Hanabi Blaster has to have 2 counters on it before it can do anything. So it's going to be for 7. I'm just going to go to 33. They showed us that they have Harpoon, so we know that that's going to end pretty poorly for us. Yeah, we'll take 8, go to 25. Harpoon means it has to reveal 2 cards here. I will let them pick which one they want to add to the chain. I want to keep Mounting Anger and Soaring Strike because they're both breakpoint cards that are very good. And then I'll take 2 here and go to 23. I mean, they did make my turn just a little bit worse by doing that, so it is worth mentioning. Buff and banish. So we'll banish Soaring Strike. Let's see. Mounting Anger, Bram with Cinderclaw for 2, and then Phoenix Flame for 3, and then Mask of the Pouncing Lynx for I think it's better. I think we're going to get more value. It would be for 3. Yeah, so we'll get more value out of pitching the Bram with Cinderclaw here. We'll banish the Phoenix Flame here. So I definitely miscounted. Yeah, definitely miscounted because now I can't Amber Blade here. So I was better off just to keep the blue. That was definitely just a mistake on my part. So I will have hit with 3 things. So it'll be for 5. Salt the Wound will be for 5, 6 because of Art of War, and then 7 because of Shuko. And then Lava Burst will be for 5, 6 because of Art of War, and 7 because of Shuko. So it's better to get the Salt the Wound here because Lava Burst is better at a later date. Yeah, definitely made a mistake right there. Glad that I could recognize my mistake, though. I mean, it's going to be for 8. So I'm just going to block 8 here and just cover up a lot of their turn, throw a Blaze Headlong, and then Arsenal the Snatch here. Still in the driver's seat? I hope so. These double Teklo Pounders are very scary, honestly. Like, these things can do a lot of damage. Yeah, I mean, I'll take 5 and go to 18 here. Hit him like a baby getting spanked after being born by the doctor. If they have another card in their arsenal to boost here, it is going to be a problem. Because if they do that into Hanabi Blaster, like, if it's a 2-cost card, then it's like, it's easily 10 more points, and I'm at 8. And then I'm just going to throw 4. Yeah, so it's exactly 10 more points. Yeah, that's very scary. I mean, they might save it for next turn. I'm not sure. They might just go ahead and throw it. I mean, it's probably better just to throw it. Oh, Scramble Pulse broke my Flame Scale Furnace. Wow, didn't see that coming. So there's probably some reason for me to lead on Snatch there, because if they don't block it, I can snap the Snatch, and then I have a Go Again attack in my hand. But if they do block it, I just Arsenal the Blaze Headlong. So I think that was definitely a mistake. So I am going to use this here, because there's a good chance that I'll have Go Again next turn, like naturally. And I want to see if they want to give me an Arsenal here or not. It really depends on how much damage their hand does. So, worst case scenario for me here is I can block 9. So I go to 12 here, and then we'll see what the rest of my opponent's hand looks like, because I have Ronin Renegade and Lava Vein Loyalty, which is probably not enough to like really win me the game here. I think my 2 mistakes have kind of cost me the game, because I was going to draw a Lava Vein Loyalty off the top, which means I could have presented exactly lethal. I go to 7. Yeah, so my 2 mistakes have cost me multiple points here, which is like very disappointing. My 2 play mistakes, I think, cost me this game, because now they have 5 cards in their hand. And now they get to have 4 cards going into a turn where I'm at 2, and my deck does not block very efficiently. Also worth noting that them getting my Flame Scale Furnace there was kind of like a blowout, honestly, because it was just really bad for us. So Blaze Headlong is one of the best cards I can leave in my hand as a 0 for 4 here, so let's see what they do. All that means is you almost won while tripping over your own shoelaces. Everybody gets the bat to the face. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good way to look at it. So I think I got to go to 1 here, because whether they have Dominate or not is irrelevant. Yeah, and that's going to kill me. I'm going to take exactly 1 and die. Yeah, so very easy to point to my mistakes there and realize why I lost, which I'm okay with. Like, if I can realize why I'm losing, that's fine. And honestly, what that tells me is that let's see. Yeah, let's keep everything on the left. Is that I lost the game there. Sorry, I'm going to save this real quick. Not a new folder. Give me more options. Documents. Yeah, I mean, like, being able to just point to why I lost is, like, I'm completely okay with that because I can look back at it and go, oh, okay, here's what happened and here's why it happened. I do have a Kano matchup in here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think I built a Kano matchup with the idea of I'm just going to go as fast as I can and just try to win the game, like, which totally makes sense to me because as a Fi, there's not really much you can do it. Did Kyle tell you my Xbox died? No, he absolutely did not. I have heard nothing of the sorts. What happened? Kano, and I'm going first. It did last night. Internal hard drive went out. Oh, wow. That sucks, dude. I'm sorry, man. Oops, I also forgot to tell you. Well, thanks for letting me know. I honestly think this is my best play. Gosh, this is so bad. Way to go, Carly. Oh, I forgot to change my record. I am 0-1 on the evening. It's going to sound a little crazy, but I'm just going to attack for 5 and then Arsenal the Art of War. I want to be able to have a massive Art of War turn next turn. Yeah, like I don't see a reason to do anything to try and like make something. Like I could have pitched the Art of War to like come in for 5 and then play the Empowerment to try and make something happen there. Like, just seemed completely unnecessary. Like, I have pitched Bram with Cinderclaw to play Art of War, pitching Snatch. Or I'm going to play Art of War, pitching Snatch, and then I get to Belittle. Like, I get to have an extremely explosive turn. I mean, if they kill me, they kill me. It is what it is. I lost 5 life, so they get to opt 5 here. This does not feel like a good matchup. Good news is that in my local metagame, there's not really anybody that plays Kano, so I'm not, like, super worried about that matchup or anything. Alright, I'm not listening to the Facebook chat go off all night while I play cards. So, wow, he put all 5 cards on top? Jeez. I mean, this is just a 0 for 5. Like, this is very good. And he's, like, setting up his turn. I mean, I might just be dead. I am going to banish the Snatch. It's the safe play. Now, I immediately, like, drew into 2 blues, so it's, like, not great for me here, but also, honestly, makes me not even want to, like, reveal off the Belittle. In fact, I don't want to reveal off the Belittle. I mean, I guess I could, and I could just play one. That seems very not good for me, though. The good news is the extra time I'm writing down a ton of rock facts to share with you all. I'm glad you found good use for your time. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to do anything crazy here. Like I don't want to reveal because I'm just gonna end up with an extra blue, and then I gotta break the chain for a +1. Like maybe putting the blue, like maybe putting one blue Minnowism back into my deck and getting the other blue into play is worth. This was not a very good Art of War turn, but cobble cobble. Oh, that's funny. Three because of Shuko. And then we'll come in for 7 with Salt the Wound. I mean, I think they're basically just saying that they're going to kill me here. Or that they're going to do enough damage to be able to kill me on my turn. Like, I can either kill my opponent this turn or I'm just going to die, basically. I'm going to put it... Well, yeah, I'm, like, probably super dead. Tome of Aetherwind here is just, like, there's so much value in that. They went top, too, so they drew 2 cards they wanted. It was probably blues. So let's see. I can go Tunic... I can go Tunic. I'm going to go Tunic Spreading Flames, pitch Lava Vein Loyalty to play Mounting Anger, then I'm going to Sword, and then I'm going to come in for 1, or I'm going to come in for 2, actually. I mean, that and arsenaling my other Spreading Flames is my best play here, I think. So, pitch this here. So we'll pitch the Lava Vein Loyalty to come in for 3. This is by far my best play, I think. Now I'm going to come in with the Mounting Anger, because if it hits, I get to... as an instant do this and get this. And then I get to banish this. And then I get to come in for 3. So they block, they have 1 card left, and then I'm going to arsenal my Spreading Flames in hopes that I can use it to kill them this next turn. Hopefully this isn't the hand that kills me, because if it is, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I am just straight up dead to rights here if they have it. Ah! Good Lord. That scared me. Noise should not scare me. Oedipus Joseph? Thanks for the sub on YouTube. I appreciate it, boss. So we play Spreading Flames. We come in with Emberblade. We come in with Ronin Renegade for 3. We come in with Phoenix Flame for 3 because of Shuko and Emberblade. And then we come in for 4. And if their last card... I was like, if it doesn't block for 3, they're dead. I mean, that was about as good as it gets. Man. This hand is not great. This hand would be a lot better if I had Tunic up. They're probably going to try and kill me here because this is automatically a breakpoint and none of their equipment blocks for anything. Now, I don't even have AB1 here for me to do anything with, so like if they have it, they have it. Oh boy. Ether Wildfire for 6. Lesson in Lava. I guess they can do it for 3 because they know exactly what's... Like, they know exactly what they are... Now, okay. So they're going to make it for 6 here. Which means everything is going to deal X plus 6. So I could very well be dead here. So they have a Kano activation waiting to resolve. They're going to activate this. I mean, they know what card is on top. Is it Wildfire? Or Blazing Ether or whatever? That's not even enough to kill me, is it? Yeah, I was like, that's not even enough to kill me. I mean, like they weren't going to get through this turn regardless, so it's like I get it why they went for it there. That matchup's honestly not a ton of fun because it's like I either win or I lose. Like and I know that like every matchup's that way, but it's not. And I say that because that matchup is either I win or I lose because I either get to like kill my I either run my opponent over or they kill me or they just like arcane me out of the game. Like there is nothing in the middle there. That is the unfortunate part of that matchup. I don't think Fi can reliably like run AB3. One, I just don't think it makes any sense. And two, I don't think that it's very I just don't think you can fit it into the deck and not hurt the rest of your matchups. All right, so Bravo is actually quite a fun matchup. I've been having quite a bit of fun playing it lately. I want to go second in this matchup so that I can get tempo and that I can kind of just like push the pressure here and take off early off in the game. Now, somebody on my team, and I'm not going to say any names here because if this is an opinion they want out there, I don't want them like getting harassed about it. Said that if you know how to play Fi, like if you're playing it well, Bravo, like if you've played the Bravo matchup as Fi before, it should basically be a bye. And I thought that was an interesting statement. Like I was pretty surprised to hear something like that because like that's like I don't know, like I've played Bravo multiple times and every time it's extremely close. Like, now, that could just be because I don't know what I'm doing. Like, that could just be the case. But who knows? Okay, so I get to play Brahma Cinderclaw, and then I get to play Lava Vein Loyalty. If I pitch the Lava Burst to Soaring Strike and then I Phoenix Flame, it's for 5. But if I pitch the Soaring Strike to get Phoenix Flame, that's for 1, and then Lava Burst is for 6. So it's for 7. So it's actually more points to pitch my Soaring Strike here to play the Lava Burst. I was like, if my opponent doesn't block any of this here, I am gonna break my mask and go get Salto Wound here because I think this is just like a very good turn. But my opponent's blocking and they still took 8 damage. Now this, wow, and they still get to come in with Crippling Crush, so I can block 3. I can block 9, take 2, and then Arsenal Artivore. Like, This seems like the best play here. I don't want to take the chance that I discard one of like my super like value cards here, and this definitely would have been it. So far this is just damage. Like this isn't. The only thing that really blows me out here is a choke slam, which I'm pretty sure is the one that says they can't gain attack, like your attacks can't gain power or whatever it says. I'm pretty sure that's what that says. Okay, so they're just going to come in for 6. Yeah, like again, this is just raw damage. I don't have to be worried about this, so to speak. So I'm gonna pitch. So I pitched Brand there because it's a starter, and I'm gonna banish the Lava Vein loyalty. And, I mean, drawn to a pretty good hand, I feel like. So, we're going to go Belittle, Reveal, Red, Ronin. We're going to get a Blue Minnowism. And I'm going to get a Blue Minnowism because I'm going to use the rest of my cards here this turn. Like, I'm going to use every single card I have this turn. Like, not a single doubt in my mind that every card in my hand is coming out right here. I'm going to turn Mask on because I think it's very good. I think Mask has a lot of value this turn. And sometimes, like, your Mask just goes and gets a Lava Burst, and you get value off of it, and that's all there is to it. Yes, so let's see. We'll have had 3 things hit here. Like, Lava Burst has to be, like... So, Lava Burst is going to be for 6 right now. Salt the Wound is also going to be for 6. So, Salt the Wound only has upside as to where Lava Burst is capped at 6. So, it's always correct to get Salt the Wound here. We'll come in for 3 because of Shuko, which is nice because it means they're either going to give us 2 equipment pieces or they're going to give us a card because they don't want us to power up the... they don't want us to power up the Salt the Wound any more than we already have. So this is for 6. So it was the same as Lava Burst, except my Lava Bursts are going to be better in my deck than Salt the Wounds are the rest of the game. So that's how I'm viewing that. So I'm going to start on Ronin Renegade, and then I'm going to play Rising Resentment. If it hits, I'm going to banish Soaring Strike, come in with Soaring Strike. If that hits, I'm going to banish Snatch, and then I'm just going to have a 4 on hit draw card go again, which is going to be insane. Now, my opponent's down 5. They might not let this happen. They might just start blocking to try and like recoup some life if they can. So it kind of depends on how they play out their turn to depend on how busted my hand is here. But my hand does have some very good potential upside. Okay, so they decide not to do anything there. I'm going to get Phoenix Flame to leak a damage. It is worth noting that last turn, when my opponent started, they were at 31, and they took 12 after blocking 12. So we had a 24-point turn, and that's pretty solid. And that was only one Art of War. Like, we've only seen 1 Spreading Flames. Like, there's 2 Spreading Flames, and there's 2 Art of Wars left in the deck. Like, there's a very good amount of, like, high-impact cards still left in my deck to draw to here. And my opponent is faced with a decision here. Like, the obvious choice here is to just give me 2 equipment pieces, but... the obvious choice isn't always the right choice, so I appreciate that my opponent's thinking about it here. Alright. I mean, Bravo gets what? 3, 6, 8, 9 equipment block against Vi? Like, the fact that he gets 9 equipment block and it's still, like, as close as it is kind of weird, if you ask me. Uh-oh. I'm in danger. I mean, it could be nothing. Like, this could be something very not important, honestly. I don't know. It kind of depends. Well, that's important. So we give them Shuko. We sink below. We put Soaring Strike on the bottom to see what we draw. We draw a Lava Burst, which means we're definitely just going to be arsenaling that card. Lava Burst in Arsenal is honestly pretty insane. The cool thing about the Blaze Headlong here is that it doesn't show that there's an end in sight. Now with 2 cards and no Arsenal, probably the best thing my opponent's going to do is going to be... I was like, it's going to be Hammer Me, which is fine. I'm just going to go to 21 here, or 15, I mean. I have a Lava Burst turn, so we're going to start with Art of War. I'm going to pick Buff and Banish. I'm going to pick... see, this is actually a really tough decision. I think I have to keep the E-Strike because it's considered a starter. I was like, no, if I draw a starter, it's okay. But I think this definitely, like, this just... I can Arsenal the E-Strike here. My lagging. All right, so we come in for 5. Yeah, that's a pretty quick block. I think that's a very correct decision. Oh, you think that was a punt? It's very possible that it could have been. Like, not playing the E-Strike is a very, like, questionable decision there. I think it's correct. I think arsenaling the E-Strike for a later day and taking my free 1 for 4 is, like, is a solid line. My opponent has disconnected. So I can't get anything off of this, so I'm just going to put this on the bottom and pick Go Again. I get to have 5 Go Again, followed by Blaze Headlong. They passed. I was like, I think they were like in the middle of disconnecting and didn't mean to do that. I was like, that definitely doesn't seem like this doesn't seem like a time to not block. So this is one of those games that I'm completely in the driver's seat. Like, they're actively like trying to do things and trying to swing back and get tempo. But right now, where the game sits, I'm in the driver's seat. Like, this game is going very well, and I definitely feel like I'm winning. All right, we're getting their other equipment out of the way, which is nice, and then we're going to throw another breakpoint card at them. Now, they know that the draw card, well, they should know that draw card doesn't matter here. Razor Reflex costs a resource, and I don't have any floating, and I only have 1 card in hand. And I don't have a way to give it Go Again on the surface, so I'm going to Arsenal the Art of War. Uh-oh. I'm in danger. 7 Dominate. So I'm going to block 2, go to 10, and then I get to discard 2 cards. See, this is cool because it forces them to do something. Like, they're forced to block here. Like, I don't know why they blocked with 2 cards, but... And then they're just going to hammer me. Alright, so I go to 4 here. And now I have Artivore Belittle in my hand, which is absolutely cracked. We're going to banish a Brahma Cinderclaw. I'm not a huge fan of that, but we'll play Belittle, pitching this, reveal Ronin Renegade to go get a blue to make our turn like absolutely insane. We're going to win on the spot here. I learned over the weekend, and I say learn because it's something that like you could learn from testing pretty quickly, but I wasn't aware of that. I mean, I guess it's 2 cards. It's the same thing. I wasn't aware that, you know, Artivore, Artivore Belittle with no blues in hand was really that good, but it's honestly still insane. Even if you have, like, all reds in your hand, having Artivore Belittle is still, like, absolutely cracked. And I took a couple of lines this weekend playing 5 when I was testing that kind of like showed me that, and I really think that opened my eyes to some of the play and some of the lines in Fi, and I went second. I have to say the games go a lot faster when I'm playing an aggro deck versus when I'm playing Iyslander Disruption Queen. So looking for Rune Blades. Well, I'm not a Rune Blade, so we won't join that game. 2-1 so far, feels pretty good. Oh, Bravo again. Okay. I mean, I don't like have any like problems like testing this matchup. Like I need to practice. And when I say I need to practice, I mean, like, I don't, like, have to have the practice because, like, there's only a couple people, like, in my area that play Bravo, but the deck is starting to pick up in popularity. So I do think that it's good to have those games just for when I'm out of town a couple weeks from now or anything like that. My opponent chose to go second, which I think is spicy. I haven't seen this much clapping since I was on the boat that rescued the Titanic survivors. Oh my god, Vinny, kill me. Bro, what is happening? Okay, so you activated this. Had 2 left. Yeah, so this has Dominate. Well, I'm not normally a huge fan of using equipment on turn 1, but I think being able to keep my go again is definitely worth. Alright, Moto Bug right there. Yeah, I think being able to keep my go again is definitely worth right there. So let's go Soaring Strike. Soaring Strike, pitch the Snatch. I'm going to banish the Snatch. We're going to come in for 3. We're going to come in for 1. Alright, well, if they let this hit here, I was like, if they let this hit, I am gonna pop the mask here. It's like, considering it has go again, it almost seems like crazy not to. This is actually the same person I just played against too. My man revealed, pitched, Unmovable, Chokeslam, and Macho Grande are revealed. So he's going to hammer me and then Arsenal the Chokeslam. Oh, no, he's not. I'm going to take 3 and go to 27. I'm just going to go buff power. I think I just want to push damage here if I can. There's definitely an argument here to draw a card. The mode draw card is very good, and Iyslander really opened my eyes to that. I've played against a lot of Briar players who will have a lightning token and will play Lightning Strike with draw card. But I think playing Iyslander really opened my eyes to the fact that in Lightning Strike is actually the mode draw card is very powerful. Now the problem is that we had my problem with hitting draw card here is that we had a quad red hand, and I didn't get to see I didn't see a single blue. So honestly, drawing a card scares me, because if I draw a blue there, I'm just in a bad spot. Now I would have drawn the Soaring Strike, and that would have been awesome. I wish I had another 3-block in my hand. I mean, this seems fine. I get to go to 24, and then I'm just going to play Snatch here. Now, their hand will tell me a lot about, or how they block will tell me a lot about their hand here. If they have a great hand, like a Crippling Crush or Spinal Crush effect here, then they'll probably just take the 4 because they don't have the equipment block left. But if their hand is kind of lackluster and they can throw a card, throw the Iron Rot Legs, and then they can just hammer me, make a Surge, hammer me, and then Arsenal a card. That's actually it's actually a very good turn. It turns their hand into 9 points in an Arsenal, which I think is fine. Now, granted, I say that as someone who's not a Bravo player. If they do hammer me here, I'm just going to take it, because I get to have a very good turn. My hand is very solid. Spreading Flames is a 1 for 6 here, which is absolutely insane. Now, granted, Spreading Flames being a 1 for 6 isn't exactly always great, because the Lava Vein Loyalty does kind of defeat that, because if that were a red, this would just be for another point. So it's not exactly great, but the Spreading Flames does help make up for that a little bit, and I do like that. If they just kind of let all of this come through, this could be a very good turn to go get another Lava Burst, because this is going to be for 3. If I'm I always have a hard time with Mask and when I should use it. We'll come in for 6 here. If they declare no blocks, then I think I might go get it. I think I might just use Snaps and Pouncing Links here. It's definitely always better to get the Lava Burst here, because it's Lava Burst for 6. So if they take this, they go to 8. They take 4, go to 10. I was like, it's just damage. You're better off just to take it here. Uh-oh. That's scary. Spinal Crush is obnoxious. I can only block 4, so it just makes sense for me to throw the... Let's throw a Ronin Renegade. We'll take 7, go to 11 here. Now, this could be a little bit of a swing in their direction. It is a good tempo swing. I'm just going to come in for 4 here and Arsenal the Artivore. Sink Below is just damage for them there. I understand why they played it in their position. I probably would have done the same. So you can pummel this and put me to 1. So if you have it, you have it. That's all I'm going to say about it. Banish and draw. I'm going to banish Mounting Anger, because Spreading Flames is probably just better. And on top of that, it will probably, it's probably just better, and it guarantees that I have something to reveal off of Belittle here. Okay, alright, let's take all your cards. I wish the Sink Below would have been something else, but it is what it is. Like, there's not much I can really do about that. I think I'm gonna get every card but one, or my opponent might just give me all their cards to save some life here. Art of War Spreading Flames is just so dumb. We come in for 4. And then we're going to come in for 3. The cool thing is that we get to arsenal a Sink Below here. So it's not like our hand is just like dead or anything. They're at 3. I think I can just push through enough damage with the Art of War here. I'm going to banish the Brand because Mounting Anger is a turn starter. Now, they don't know that my Arsenal is a card I can't play here, but it is. Okay, so let's come in for 5. We'll pitch 1 Sink Below to be able to Blade here to kind of like do it all. We'll come in for 3. They'll block this. This will be for 4. They'll take 1. And then they'll just die to the Phoenix Flame. So the second Art of War was definitely just enough to kill them there. Alright, well, 2 games in a row we got our opponent. We had a better AVPT at game 2. When I say AVPT, I mean average value per turn. That's really what I'm looking for when I'm playing. Like, I always take that number down no matter what I'm playing because I never know when I might want to go back and see that statistic. I can't talk. But I definitely think it's better. I definitely think it's better and shows more against like when you're playing aggro decks. Now, this is going to be tough. I was like, I do have a Lexi matchup set up somewhere. I think I want to go first. I think I want to have an Arsenal here. Yeah. Like, I think, like, this is not a good matchup for me. But this is not a good matchup for me, but maybe I'll get lucky and we'll swipe one here. So we're going to go get a blue here. We're going to Arsenal the Red Belittle. The Red Belittle will hopefully help us play through their turns a little bit. I mean, if they're happy taking 1 here, I'm happy for them. Like, that's fine. What is their hand? Their hand must be, like, stacked. If they're just, like, taking all of that there. So, okay. So it's a go again arrow? I mean, like, I'm fine with this because I'm starting the game 7 points ahead. And I have Art of War and Belittle. I have Art of War in my hand and Belittle in my arsenal, which is really good. Which means as long as they're not doing something that's, like, crazy disrupting here, like, we're good to go. Let me read this. Hits a hero. Whenever they play an action, they lose a life. That's fine with me, honestly. Man, this is going to be a good turn for them. I assume my opponent gave this go again. We're going to have pretty good makeup turn here. Man, wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it was. And it says whenever they take an action, right? They play an action card. So I don't even lose a card off of Art of War. I'm going to banish Soaring Strike here. I could pitch Blaze Headlong. No, it's got to be better to pitch the Enlightened Strike. I was like, I have to keep the Ronin Renegade, one because it's a chain, it starts the chain for me, and two because like I have to have it to reveal off of Belittle. They're just agreeing to take 5 here. Like, okay, I'm going to crack Mask and go get Salto Wound here. And Phoenix Flame will be for 2 here. Which means if this hits, this is going to be for 8, if I'm counting correctly. 9? Where did I miss a point at? 2, 3 from... Oh, it was the Art of War point. I didn't count the Art of War point. Alright, I'm up 15 points. Like, I should be in somewhat decent shape to, like, kind of hang out a little bit here. As long as they don't give us another Frostbite, I'm fine. But they're probably just going to play the Ice Quake here. So, the only problem, like, the only, like, real, like, blowout play for me here is if I block with both my equipment pieces and they have Art of War. We'll reveal this. Go get a blue, which is nice because we're going to shuffle up our deck a little bit, which means we're not going to be in the situation of drawing 2 E-strikes. Now, I'm going to be honest, even if we did leave it that way, I don't think that's ever going to matter. I don't think we're ever going to get back to second cycle in this matchup, so... I think my Lexi opponent realizes that they have to like take some damage here to try and have enough disruption to get back into the game. Now, I don't know. When I draw 2 blues, I just don't think it matters. And they're not playing Shock Charmers. So it's not like I'm in like super danger of like them... I'm not like in like super danger of them like giving me like 7 Frostbites or anything. Now, if you're I have to say, if you are a 5 player and you end up in a situation where you are, where you are, what's the word I'm looking for here? When you're playing against Shock Charmers, then it is a little dangerous because you can get a whole bunch of Frostbites. I guess I wasn't thinking about Snapdragons. God, this is going to come in for 5. I sadly think this is my best play. At least I get to come in for a breakpoint card here. Like, so if I throw Flamescale Furnace and my blue block there, like, I get to prevent that, and I'm in such a better spot. than I was. Again, another play mistake on my part. Now, the good news is that I can block with Lava Burst and Mounting Anger here for 5 and still have a pretty sufficient turn because I can go Snatch. What are you trying to do, opponent? Because I can go Snatch, Snapdragon's Lava Vein Loyalty. Like, so I have like a pretty decent hand. Oh, you wanted to play Rain Razors as a response? So this is for 6, which means I go to 2. I mean, if they drew another Rain Razors, I'm just dead here, but like I don't think I can ever play around that. So if I block 5, I'm forced to block 8 here. Man, like, again, I can't remember what it was exactly right now sitting here. It was me not blocking the Endless Arrow. So me not blocking the Endless Arrow has honestly, like, cost me this game. Like, it has put me in such a bad spot. Like, because I couldn't take the second Endless Arrow, so there was nothing I could do there. So, like, if I had just blocked the Endless Arrow, I would be in such a better spot right now because they never would have reloaded, and then they never would have used Bullseye's Bracers to hit me again. Like, small play mistake like that, just by not taking a second and thinking about it, has honestly put me in, like, a terrible situation. They pitch Icequake. Oh, gosh. I was like, you have to play this before you try to, like, activate Voltaire, because you only have one arsenal spot because New Horizons is gone. Or is it New Horizon? Yeah, New Horizon is gone. So they can't play Rain Razors under 3 of a kind. Yeah, so I think that's why he backed up and was, like, trying to do it again. He, like, undid his turn and, like, tried to do it again. I think he probably just misclicked and went too fast. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes my opponents take some stuff back, and I'm like, okay, that's a little shady, but, like, what is this going to be for 6? Yeah. Nothing I can do about that. My average value per turn was 17.25. I ended up losing the game. That's crazy. Well played by my opponent. Super close match, honestly. I honestly thought I had my opponent at the end of the game there, and I would have won that game had I not made a serious mistake. So, like, while there's a minute here, right now I'm 3-2 on the night. The truth is I should be 5-0. So, like, let's back up to this last game right here. Against Alexi, my opponent, I'm like at some number that is pretty healthy, and my opponent's at 2. I have all 4 cards in my hand, and I have 1 equipment block left on the Flamescale Furnace. If I block with the blue Lava Vein Loyalty and my Furnace, I get to have a very reasonable turn. Like, I get to have like a 4 chain link turn, which is insane. Which is really good off 3 cards. It's like 11 or 12 points, I think, and that's like very close to chain numbers off of 3 cards. So that's insanely good. Had I done that, my opponent doesn't get to use Bullseye's Bracers and hit me again. Now, I didn't do that, and they got to hit me again, and then I had to block with 3 cards to stay in the game. Then I have 1 card, and I'm in a bad spot. So there's 1 loss. let's back up to the dash game. I don't remember what exactly I did wrong in this situation, but there were 2 times. I know one time I pitched a blue when I should have played it. And there were 2 times throughout the games, throughout my dash game, that I missed at least 1 point, if not more. My opponent, let's go back and look. My opponent ended the game at 1, and I left at least 2 points on the board. I honestly think it was more. So leaving at least 2 points on the board puts me in a situation where I am automatically gonna it literally cost me the game, because at the end of the game I'm blocking to keep cards that I'm like to stay alive, and it would have been my opponent blocking to stay alive. So right now my record's 3-2. I should be 5-0, and while it sucks, I can at least I don't completely hate when I'm in this spot. I don't completely hate when I'm in this spot, and I'll tell you why. Because if I play a 6-round tournament and I miss out on top 8, and I'm looking at it and I'm going, okay, I feel like I'm going, okay, there's probably something I could have done better. But when I can't actively look at it and say, this turn I messed this up and it cost me the game. When I have when I play an entire tournament and it feels like I just got a little unfortunate, or I can't find what I was supposed to do, that sucks. I hate that. There's nothing worse in the world, in my opinion. When I look at a match and I say, I lost because of X, Y, and Z, I can at least go, you know what? I could have done better. I can fix that, and I can be better next time. So I like when I'm playing these games that I'm able, I'm getting to these points to where I'm catching all of my mistakes as they're happening, which means I just need to start turning it around a little bit. Here's how I sideboard for Dory. Bring in 2 Ancestral Empowerments. Don't bring in the Belittles. Player 2 will go first. All right, so my opponent has played Dory before because they're choosing to let me go first. This is an awkward hand. I could use the Artivore if I wanted to try and push through some damage, but I don't think that's worth. Disco Stew Forever. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it, boss. Hope you're having a good night, man. Or she, whoever. I assume since Stu is in the name, that was actually your name, but I've been wrong before. All right. Talishar, Dory, and I'm going first. Hate going first in the aggro matchups, but it is what it is. All right, so my opponent agrees to take 1. Man, I went to write down my notebook and I wasn't even paying attention. I haven't played a red card, so I'm automatically in a bad spot. I'm going to play Snatch because they'll block this. Plus, Blaze Headlong's not a bad card to have in my hand going into an Artivore turn. So, if I pitch my blue... If I pitch my blue... Yeah, if I pitch my blue to get a Phoenix Flame there, I can... yeah, I can play my Blaze Headlong and I can play the Snatch there. So it's definitely just a misplay on my part. So I can block 4 and go up to 8, which means the only thing that blows me out here is a Route. But this hand allows me to cover up their Steel Blade Supremacy, even through a 1-for-3 pump spell. And it allows me to just serve my Blaze Headlong on my turn, which is pretty good because I'm already up 2 points. Which means I can basically just sit on my hands and just block effectively until my Artivore turn is just ready to pop off. Alright, my opponent wanted to block there. So the only reason I can think of to block with Courage of Bladehold is because you're going to activate it. Other than that, I would have saved it, so I'm surprised to see them do that. Again, this is an extremely mediocre hand to have with Art of War. Okay, Glistening Steelblade is a problem because, and I'll tell you why it's a problem. The problem with this hand, this is tough. The problem with Glistening Steelblade is that if they have Twinning Blade here, it's a blowout. So the fun part is that I can block 8 here and make them think that like they're gonna get through with this 1 for 3 like this. So I know they can't route me here. So they're not gonna be able to do anything else. They spent their Courage of Bladehold and a Steelblade. They spent a Steelblade Supremacy. They spent a Glistening Steelblade and a Courage of Bladehold and still haven't hit me yet. And I'm playing like one of the worst blocking decks in the game. Like, this feels really good. Like, I love drawing Sink Belows, but game, for the love of God, will you please just give me a hand that goes Burr? This is for 9? My gosh. Warrior's Valor says +3, and if it hits, go again. And Sharpen Steel is 0 for 3. So I can block 3, 5, 7, 9, and then have Sink Below. Like, I really want to like have a hand with Art of War where I'm not looking at a Sink Below. So Route is a blowout because Sink Below doesn't make up the difference here. And Sink Below will virtually never make up the difference. Now, there are times when it can, but there's not a high chance that it's going to make up the difference. If they don't have a pump spell here, see, this is awkward because I could have just blocked for 7 and then done this, but then I'm only up +2. I guess there's no point in playing it. Like, there's no point in me spending my Sink Below. I can block 9 effectively this turn, and I can still blade them for 3, which is a pretty good return. Pretty good return on investment, I would say. Man, one of these days I'm going to get to play this Art of War. And when I do, it's going to be bonkers. Whoa. Glistening Steelblade and Steelblade Supremacy in the same turn. So this is going to be a 1 for 5. Okay, so how do I play around Route here? Route's a card that blows me out. So if I block 3, 5, 7, and then my opponent routes my 3, I go to 4, they go to 8, and then I Sink Below. Yeah, they route my 3, they go up, and then I go down. I don't really know what my opponent's doing here. They're playing I. I mean, my opponent might just be saying, you're wasting your deck and I'm not. Just keep blocking. I guess I have spent some really good cards blocking. I mean, alright, well, I just won't block and we'll just see what happens. Like, I don't really care to give them a counter here because I can go Art of War, pitching Sink Below, banish Mounting Anger, and then draw 2 cards, and I can go +1. They're going to come in with Brave Forge Bracers, so they're going to come in for 4 automatically. I'm just going to take the 4 here. has Go Again and Piercing 1. So my armor just subtracts 1 here, basically. Oh, the run through. Blade Flesh. Target sword attack gets Go Again. I feel like there's probably just a better card there than a blue 1 cost attack reaction. That's a generic attack reaction too. Don't see generic attack reactions very often in this deck, I feel like. And by very often, I mean in Josh Lau's list and in my friend Blake's list. But maybe I'm wrong. Oh, Twinning Blade. Okay. So I go to 31, and then I'll take 3. Or I'll take 4, I guess. Go to 27. Yeah, I go to 27, and then I have no more defense reactions the rest of the game, basically, unless I draw a belittle and I shuffle, and then I'm taking the chance that I have the ability to do so. To find the Sink Below again off of a shuffle. I think banishing the Mounting Anger here is the safest play because even if I don't draw a blue, I have 2-0 for 4s with Go Again, and I think that's a very solid play. Buff and banish. Now, there is more downside to me pitching the Mounting Anger because if I do draw a blue, then wow. This is like the perfect amount of awkward because I don't want to. I guess there's another Art of War in the deck. All right, we'll go Brand for 4. My opponent's probably going to take this. We're going to go Ronin for 4. I'm going to play the Soaring Strike here for 5. Interesting that they decided to throw the farm at this. So Salt the Wound from here would be for 6, 7. And so would Lava Burst. Oh, Salt the Wound's gone. I had to block with it earlier. So we're definitely doing this for 7. I mean, this is good because if they take this, they're going to 19. I mean, it doesn't have Go Again. Like, maybe I get lucky and they don't have a way to give a Go Again here. Not likely. I mean, they have Bolters, I guess, if worse comes to worse, so they can just pop Bolters here to give a Go Again. Which they did. They'll activate Braveforge Bracers. Yeah, I mean, my turn's, like, very solid. So I go to 13. This gets another counter, which means I'm probably blocking all out next turn. We'll get a blue Minnowism. Having to pitch, like, drawing that second Art of War when we did was very awkward. Like, not to say that, like, drawing the second art, like I couldn't have like played around that or played a little bit differently or something, but it was very awkward to draw the second Art of War. Like there were multiple hands that I could have just taken what they did and then had the Art of War, and still like. So my problem with playing the Art of War before the turn that I did is that there really wasn't like a turn when I felt like the Sink Below in my hand was going to do me any good other than blocking, and so it felt like, yeah, you should just block here, like Dodoy. I don't think throwing 3 more is going to do anything for me right now, so I think it's better just to arsenal my Lava Vein loyalty, and then try to set up for a little bit of a better turn later. Like, and by a little bit later, I mean like this next turn, because if not, I'm probably dead. I do have 3 equipment block I can block with, and my opponent is at 9. I have put on quite a bit of pressure this game, so... So they pitched their third Glistening Steelblade. So this is for 5. If they have 2 plus 3s, it's 11. And I go to 2. Yeah, I don't know. This is scary. Like Dorinthia is very scary because a lot of times at the end of the game like this, when we're both just staring at each other, she's holding all the cards. Like, she's just, like, rubbing her hands together, staring at me. And so it can be a little tough. Okay, so my best play is to block with the E-Strike, the Shuko, and the Furnace on the next attack. That gives me 6 block, and I'll be at 8, which means they have to find 6 extra points somewhere, like 6 more points than they needed to kill me originally. Yeah, I mean, like, that's fine. Like, you play Glint, like, they're not really getting any value off of Glint other than the fact that he gives Go again, so... So... Okay. So, we cover up 6. If they play Route, we still don't die here. If they have the 0 for 3 reprise card, we're not dead. I guess we're not dead even if they have that. We're just going to go to 2 if they have that. So now my hand looks like... Yeah, so I mean, this is like, ironically, if we had just blocked with the, they put a card on top of their deck. If we had just blocked with the equipment, we'd still be alive because the card, the 0 for 3, strictly has reprise. I get to put on quite a bit of pressure this turn. Like, I don't... It's definitely enough for them to have to block with another card. I know that. So, I was like, they have to block with something. Now, the problem is they're attacking for 6. The best case scenario here is that I draw 3 3-blocks and a 0 for 4 that I can keep in my hand. So I did draw 3 3-blocks, I just didn't draw the 0 for 4. Like, if you trade this Spreading Flames for a Snatch here, it's insane. I mean, we're blocking all 9 because it's what we need to do. We're going to get all the counters off of the Dawnblade here. And on my turn, I'm just going to Arsenal the Spreading Flames. And I'm just going to try to get through this turn alive and hope that I can get through this. Because if I can block 7 here and get away with it, I can just come in with the Ember Blade by pitching the Art of War. We'll block 7. Like, Route kills us at any time, and we haven't seen one yet, which is kind of scary. So they're going to go get Route here. I mean, I guess Twinning Blade too. So you didn't need to give it Go Again. It doesn't have to have Go Again with Twinning Blade. So, and now we're just dead because they're going to pitch any card and we're going to die to the fact that this is for 5. I guess they wanted the +2. So, yeah, I mean, that was an insanely close game. They happened to have the, like, Iron Song response or whatever the reprise search for a card is there on the last turn of the game, which, I mean, good for them. There's not much we can do about that. Not much we can do about them having that. I'm surprised they didn't just get a Route there. I don't know. Like, they won the game, so, like, I guess either line wins them the game, and it's not super relevant. But either way. So, all right. Well, we're 3-3. Like I was talking about a little bit ago, I should be 5-1, but I'm not because of my own misplays. So, player 2 is disconnected. All right, well, they didn't want to run it back, which is honestly kind of disappointing because I was really looking forward to playing them again. I was hoping to get a little bit of revenge there. This will probably be my last game for the evening. 6 games is like 6 or 7 games is a very good amount of games to get in for one night of testing. I have grown very used to playing Iyslander, where I'm not able to get that many games in. Kalashar, playing Bravo, and I'm going second. Like, playing Iyslander, like, really made, like, the amount of time that I had to test, like, very important. For me, because, like, I'm no longer in those spots where I can, I can just jam a bunch of games in one night. I really had to take the time to get as many games as I could in 1 week, just due to the amount of, just how long the games took, like how long it took me to get games in. I was like, if you pummel there, I would be surprised, but it's also 4 damage and you still get an Arsenal. Wow, this hand is like super mediocre. Oh my god, this hand is bad. I mean, I could pitch Belittle Lava Burst to activate Phi. Attack for 0, Blaze Headlong, Arsenal to sink below. Yeah, that just feels bad. Keeping the Rising Resentment would have made that hand very playable, because I could have pitched to sink below to Belittle to get a blue, and then I could have, like, kind of had a turn there. That was, like, I made the decision to keep the turn ender, which I don't think is the wrong decision by any means, but it is what it is. Sometimes the plays just don't work out the way you want them to. Oh, man. This is the stuff, huh? This is the stuff. And if he has the pummel, I'm just up a creek. So we're going to go 3, 5, 7. If he has the pummel, yeah, I mean, this is one of those times when having Crown of Providence would be very good, but not much I can do here. Like, even if I threw my other Minnowism, it's only for 9. And I just don't think that's the correct play here. I'm going to choose to discard the Minnowism, right? Like, yeah, I was like, as long as the other one's in my deck. I'd rather have the Sink Below in my arsenal than throw 3 at them. Sink Below allows me to fix my hand a little bit. I mean, not that this hand like necessarily needs it or anything. Okay. This Sink Below might be very relevant to whatever they're about to do. So I don't really get to have much of a hand. So the most efficient play for me here is to block with Shuko and then just Sink Below. And then that way I can pitch Blaze Headlong to play Belittle, reveal Brand, and then I get to have a turn. And then I also get to arsenal my Spreading Flames. But I'm like wasting my equipment on an attack that I don't need to. I could also just throw Belittle and Sink Below and then play Brand, Blaze, and then Arsenal Spreading Flames. I think that's my best play here. I think I like keeping my hand here. This game feels a lot worse than the other 2 or 3 that we've played. We're 2-0. I think I'm 2-0 on the night against Bravo so far. If my opponent has a hand that is like kind of lackluster, I was like, my opponent will throw a card here to block, but it could be that my opponent is missing something and they want to try and sink to find something here. My question is, are they going to sink their arsenal? They are. So, like, Crown of Providence is, like, such an awesome card just because of the fact that it has the ability to sink your arsenal, and I really enjoy that. But I also understand where that can be a little weird. They're playing, like, Fatigue Bravo with, like, last-ditch effort and stuff. That means they're playing, okay. So I can block Furnace and Enlightened Strike, and then I get to have a 3, 6, 11 point turn. I take 3, go to 31. My opponent's like really giving it the business here, trying to like get in. This could honestly be the turn that my opponent doesn't want to block. Just because of the showtime. So I've learned in my time of playing Flesh and Blood that there are 2 types of Bravo players. There are the Bravo players who will block a lot on the showtime turn because they know they're going to get a card back. And there are the Bravo players that won't block at all on the showtime turns because it feels... because they're thinking, like, okay, like, I'm going to get an extra card. I want to do as much damage as I can. The Bravo player that blocks more regularly than not is oftentimes, in my opinion, better, because I think blocking is one of the most important things that Bravo can teach you, is when to block and how to block effectively. Please just come in with a hammer. Please have a lackluster, crappy turn and just hammer pummel me. I'll happily take 10 to have a... They're going to activate Bravo instead. That's probably not good. Spinal Crush. So... I think my best play is to throw this. I take 6. Join them at 25. I'm going to pitch Enlightened Strike, putting Soaring... Or pitch... I'm going to play Enlightened Strike, putting Soaring Strike on the bottom, and I'm going to come in for 7. When your opponent is playing Bravo and they actually do hit you with a Spinal Crush, when they hit you with the crush effect of a Spinal Crush, being able to throw an E-Strike is like one of the best things in the game, in my opinion. Like, it's just very strong. God, seriously? It tear us under hammer here? This is like the hand I wanted too. Like, this is like my hand. Like, this has it all. Oh, that's so depressing. I'm going to take 5, discard Ronin Belittle, and I'm just going to throw a Snatch at my opponent. Now, they know that the chances of me actually breaking snaps here are pretty low, just based off of, like, the life totals and the state of the game. But maybe they respect the draw card. I mean, I guess I understand, but, like, what in my arsenal plus what draw can I have that really punishes you? Like, the best thing I could have is Blaze Headlong in my arsenal, and I could draw blue to have an 11-point hand. Now my one card hand turned into 11 points off of 3 cards, which is very good. But I don't think that's like the winning recipe. If my opponent could just take a single off turn, all right, we're gonna try and make it happen this turn. I gotta come back. My opponent's like starting to slip away a little bit more than I'm comfortable with, so I need to turn around and start making this happen. This is probably a break mask and go get another Lava Burst turn. Question is, are you going to block the second one? I mean, if you don't block the second one, like, I'm definitely going to break my mask here. Block with a Crippling Crush. So this is normally the one that gets in. Now, it is for 2, so they could just throw Plating at it. Yes, I would like to destroy this. Salt the Wound is just going to be for 5, maybe 6 here. And Lava Burst is guaranteed to be 6, so it's definitely better to get Lava Burst. We'll go ahead and play the one you know about. Make you think about how you want to block a little bit. You go to 12, and then I'm going to come in for 6 more. Hi, Taryn. What are you doing, sweet kitty? What's the sweet kitty's doing, huh? What are you doing? What's Mom doing, huh? Is Mom taking a nap? I haven't heard her in a while. Is Mom taking a nap? Alright, so my opponent goes to 9. We're up 8 points, and they have a 3-card hand. Or my opponent wants to block differently. I'm not sure. I'm working. Why are you working? It's 15 after 10. Or, God, it's 10 after 9. I might not can talk, but why are you working? You definitely know you should not be working right now. Yeah, okay, so Carly's toxic trait is that she talks about how she's not getting anything done, and then she's always working her butt off to make sure that everybody she's always working late, she's always working hard. Carly works her butt off at her job, and she thinks she's I don't know, she worries, she has imposter syndrome, and I get it, we all do. It's one of those things that happens. I understand. But Carly works her butt off, and she has nothing to be worried about. Obviously, because I hate to break it to you, but there's not, you wouldn't catch me dead working at 11 after 9. Clearly, you'd catch me playing Talishar. That's what I'm doing. So, this is kind of cool because this gets to be for 2, and then I get to have Lava Burst for 6, which is all 3 Lava Bursts are coming in for 6 on back-to-back turns, which is, very powerful. Yeah, I was my opponent's not going to go to 1 here. They're going to come in for 4. So I think I'm just going to go to 3 here. Now the question is, am I pitching Snatch or am I pitching Mounting Anger? I think the answer is I'm pitching Snatch. I was so tired today I didn't get as much done as I wanted to. Plus I'm making new spreadsheets, so kind of fun. Oh, Lord. You and Ben and your spreadsheets, y'all kill me. I wouldn't use spreadsheets unless I had to. It's just so easy to track information. I think this is the better play. Mounting Anger offers a +1 effect. And Snatch offers a end of turn draw card effect. Now, I'm more than likely getting every card in their hand here, but I think having the turn ender here is what makes Snatch, you could, I guess, you can't end the turn on Mounting Anger because I have to have a starter, so it was actually just better in every situation to pitch the Mounting Anger there. So I definitely made a good decision. I was interesting. I was now that's a bad block right there, and I was about to talk about why, but my opponent realized, because now they get to throw their last card, and they get to throw legs here, and we both stay at 3, and so Spreading Flames, Searing Emberblade, Snatch, Arsenal, Artivore. I think I have to play Artivore. I think playing Artivore just gives me a big chance to win here. Whee! Never didn't have it, chat. Never didn't have it. My gosh. Belittle right there is insane. Just made our hand better. Always rather be lucky than good. This makes every single, this makes almost every single card I have a breakpoint this turn. And by every single card, I mean the Snatch that's already a breakpoint and the Spreading Flames. This is going to get their last card because it's going to be for 3. Artivore and the Spreading Flames. And then we're going to come in for 5 with the Snatch and win the game. All right, 12.18. I mean, that's not great, but it's fine. Let's see. Win. I finished the game at 3, and my average value was 12.18. All right. I honestly love that in, let's see, in 2 hours, I was able to get in 7 games. So, quick recap in case you missed it earlier in the stream. I had 3 losses tonight. One of them was to Dash early on in the game, or it was my first match. I lost to Dash. My opponent ended the game at 1, and I had left at least 2 points on the table in earlier turns, maybe more points. So I made multiple play mistakes, like at least 2, maybe 3 play mistakes during the course of that game, and my opponent still ended the game at 1. So I definitely would have won that game had I just played better. And then my next loss was to Lexi. She wasn't really like hard like Ice Lexi. She was like a mix. Excuse me. And I did not block Endless Arrow, and at the very end of the game, and they activated Bullseye's Bracers when they got it back, and just like blew me out. And so it was just a bad move on my part, and it ended up costing me the game. And then my other loss was to Dorinthia. And Dorinthia, like, I'm sure there was a spot where I could have done something better or played better in some situation of the game, but my opponent just ended up winning the game. That was a game we probably would have lost. So had I played better tonight, I'd be 6-1 right now. And honestly, my record says 4-3, but knowing that I could have went 6-1 had I had better play and just made smarter decisions actually makes me feel pretty solid, and I feel pretty happy about that. So, all right, well, cool. Thanks for the follow, Disco Stew, and Joseph, thanks for the sub on YouTube. I appreciate it, guys. If you're new to the stream, anytime I'm streaming, if you're playing at ProQuest or something, let me know where you're playing at. Let me know how you're doing. I want to know what everybody's doing. Like, I want to know what's going on with you guys and how you're playing, because the more I learn about the game and the more I learn about the people that, like, hang out and watch my streams, like, the better. Like, it's awesome. I love the Flesh and Blood community, and I love getting to know more people and learn more about them as a whole. So, anytime you want to, talk about anything, like, hit me up on Twitter or hit me up in the chat. I'm happy to talk about it or hear about your ProQuests. I'll be back on Thursday, playing more Fi, because I'll be playing Fi this weekend. I got to get all my cards together for it, but I'll be playing it this weekend. So, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the new follows, and I'll see you guys on Thursday. Take it easy, guys.